Good evening everybody and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for everybody who viewed the last video. Big welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks for subscribing. In this video I thought what I'll do is get the carpet into leftovers. As you can see, I've got leftovers back in the shed, taking some advantage of empty space that I've got, like I said, so that I can, in the last video, so that I can open up the doors, etc., get all the interior out and put the new carpet in there that I've had put aside for quite some time. I was actually going to do this car before I put the carpet in the blue Charger, in my 6-pack Charger, but all the interior was out of the blue car, so at the time I thought, well, I might as well just put the carpet in while it's got no interior in it, or i.e. like your seats and so forth. So I did that. So in this video what I think I'll be doing is putting the carpet back in there and just going through a couple little tips that I've learnt off YouTube from other guys, etc., and a couple of tips that have worked out really good for me. I used to hate putting carpet in, but the last one that I did in the blue car was a breeze, just due to these little tips, you know, working out how to find your holes that you need to do, and how to also put the holes in the carpet so you don't get runs and so forth in your carpet. Very handy little tips, and you know, I'll go into them when we get a bit further into the video. But yeah, I think what I'll do to start with is mark the holes, positions where all of the you know, your seat bolts are, etc., because these ones just like drop in place. So I'll get underneath the car, have a little lie down and mark all them underneath, because later on I'll need to know where they are when the carpet's in the car, to work out where I need to put all my holes, etc. So yeah, so without any more hesitation, I think I'll just bite the bullet and start pulling the interior out the old girl again. It'll probably be like the third or fourth time I've had the interior out of the car, but it'll be worth it. And I've got a couple of little things that I need to fix as well. So yeah, without further ado, I think I will pull the interior out. Okay, as you can see, we've got with the help of my wife, we've got the seats stripped out and everything else that we need to take out of the car. To start with the underlay, as you can see, it's actually in pretty good condition. The whole interior of the car, or the floor pan of the car. This brown stuff is actually some rust converter where water had got in the past, and the paint had come away and it was a bit shitty there, but it's, you know, still extremely solid all there. So like I said, I've just got some rust converter on that. Same as on the other side, it's just got a little bit of there was the same thing happened where the paint had just lifted, but as you can see, it's actually, the floor pan itself is actually in really good condition, except for that little bit there. I don't know what's happened, something from the underside of the car's poked through, and so what I'm actually going to do, a little bit of a cheat fix. I'm not going to weld it. Normally I would, but seeing as this is just leftovers, you know, it's not that it doesn't deserve it, but it's just a bit of a headache to do all this without my wife here, etc., to stand by with a fire extinguisher welding on the inside of a car and so forth. I haven't got a TIG welder so you know, MIG welder emits a lot of sparks, and then with my shitty welding, it will require grinding. So what I'm actually going to do is just use some of this stuff, which is, and this is not a paid plug, this is some Dynasteel metal repair. So what you do is you just cut off the little bit that you need and knead it together until it starts to go warm and goes one color, because it's a grey outer, silvery grey outer with a black inner, which is obviously the reactant or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm just going to knead up a bit of that bit of metal repair, straighten this out, and then I'm just going to knead a little bit of metal repair in there just to stop the water etc coming in. And I think I need to give that a little bit of a massage there too, although that plug is sitting in there quite well. So yeah, so I was going to just vacuum the inside out, but I think what I'll do is I will wash it with a sponge and a bit of soapy water, a bit of car wash. And another thing that I have done also, where's my little torch? I'll just grab this one up here. I have actually I'll just get down on my knees, please excuse my grunting and groaning. I have actually put underneath here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's tape with texture marks on there. So they're the holes that's going to be required in the carpet. So I'll go into a little bit more of that, excuse me, when the time comes when we start putting the holes in the carpet etc. So yeah, and it was good, the help of my wife. We took out the driver's seat, and I no sooner she's turned to me and said, "Oh geez, these aren't as heavy as the charger seats," and I no sooner turned my back and she had the passenger side out in her arms saying, "Well, where do you want this one?" So yeah, once again, thanks for your help, Shan, really appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, I'll get that little hole mended and give the floor a bit of a washout. Okay, so as you can see, I've given the interior a bit of a clean out. I gave it a wipe over, like I said, with a sponge and some soapy water. I'm glad I did, because it did pick up a lot of crap that was just hiding here and there and bits and pieces. And as you can see, that I gave that a little bit of a wipe over too, and it's taken off a bit of the rust converter, and as you can see, it's really nothing at all. I did also, with some limited tools that I have, I did actually, let me just set this up, give this a bit of a tap and a bit of a sand etc. Once again, I could weld this, but you know, there's exaggerated one split here, there's another split here, and there's a big hole here. The metal's quite thin as well, and I'll more than likely blow a hole in it etc. So instead of making a big mess, like I said, I'm just going to smear a bit of the metal repair over the top of that, and that'll be fine. But like I said, that's come up quite well, considering that was all, you know, the size of the head of a screwdriver basically. So yeah, that's not too bad at all. Like I said, I just folded that out and peened it down and give it a bit of a sand. So I'll just wipe that with a bit of thinners now, and then wipe a bit of metal repair on there. So yeah, like I said, get that done and let it dry out a little bit more, and then stick a bit of underlay in here. Okay, so that little repair's done. Like I said, I just smeared some epoxy in there. Please don't judge me, guys. This is not how I would normally do something, especially if I was doing, you know, something like my blue Charger or anything else. But you know, this car's just it's just something that we've pieced together, and this stuff's really quite good. You know, it settles as hard as a rock. It's there's a bit of it there. That's only just been a few minutes after I've finished kneading it into its spot, sort of thing, that it's turned into like a little pebble. So look, once again, this stuff's pretty good, and it's, you know, it's come up good enough, and from the underside you really can't notice anything whatsoever, because it's only just a little hole. So to save a heap of welding, grinding etc, and blowing holes in stuff, that's, you know, sort of the quickest and easiest sort of fix that I know of to do for this sort of car. So yeah, once again, please don't judge me, people. This is not normally how I do things, but yeah, it's just something that I thought would do the job. All right, let's get on with it. Well, that's something that's interesting. This is, like I said, the little pebble that's left over from the putty that I didn't use, but this is a magnetic tray, of course, as you know, and check that out. It's magnetic. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, okay, so fast forward 24 hours and it's all nice and dry in here. Very happy once again with the results, nice and clean. Our little bodgy repair, that's as hard as steel now, as they say. So that's come up really well, and once again the underside, that's it there. You know, you're not going to see it, and you know, to be honest, I could have taken a welder to it, but I think it would have ended up a little bit ugly, to be quite honest, and a bit messy, and I reckon I would have blown some holes in it because the metal was rusted on the edges, and also rusted on the edges and quite thin as well. So I think I've done the best thing there. Well, I've done the best thing that I can for there anyway. So yeah, let's get some underlay in there now. Right, so I've got the underlay all laid out in the car and sort of pushed in. I've got the scuff plates in place just so that I know where my coverage sort of needs to be, etc. This underlay that they supply is really good. It really conforms quite well. It actually stretches, so you know, if you do get some, don't pull it around until you actually get it in the car because it will actually stretch. So yeah, just try and lay it in there the best you can, and then like stretch it and push it into all the corners and so forth. And as you can see, I haven't, all I've done is cut this to width across this way. So like I said, it conforms really well. So these are just literally almost straight cuts along the scuff plates that I've done. And once again, I have had this laying in here overnight, which does actually help as well. So yeah, just don't be in too much of a rush with your underlay, because it is actually quite important to have a good coverage for sound deadening, etc. So now what I'm going to have to do is, naturally, you know, it looks all nice and neat now, so but I have to naturally I have to cut the hole for the shifter. I've got to cut this out here for the handbrake because it does actually get, excuse the camera for a sec, that's a bit better. It does actually get the plate and the boot over that, so I will be cutting that out quite a bit. Naturally cutting the shifter hole out as well, because that has got naturally a boot and a plate as well going over that. And of course I need to put the holes for the seats and front seat belts as well. So I'll get stuck into that and get some carpet in here. Alright, as you can see, I've cut the holes in the in all the underlay. I just use a pair of scissors for that. I'll go into a little bit more detail as to how I find those holes once I get the carpet laid out in here, and also I leave a bit of room around the shifter and also the handbrake boot, so that when you are looking for the screw holes, it makes it a little bit easier. You haven't got big thick underlay in the way, etc. And same as with the what do you call it, seatbelt holes as well. Same deal there as well. As you can see, I've cut around all where the seatbelt holes go to. So that's pretty much the only holes that we really need to do for now. So next step is to lay some carpet in here and see how that sort of looks. Okay, so I let the carpet sit in the car for a good couple of days, and it was probably 38+ degrees in the shed here because we had a few hot days, which has probably done it well. I've done it good for that, it just to settle into all the spaces, etc. I have gone ahead and put the seal panels on and the back seat in, just so I know what coverage I've got, and also just to hold everything in place, square, etc. for when I put, and I've also put the boot on the handbrake cable as well, just to hold that in place, because there's not really a lot in the back there. Well, there's what, 3 holes each side in the back piece of carpet. So I've actually gone ahead and put the holes in this side. So there's your seat holes in there. Just try not to shadow everything out too much. So I'll go ahead now and show you how I find the location of those holes and how I actually put the holes in there. There's plenty of ways to do it, but I've found this way to be the most efficient and easiest way to do it. So I'll go ahead and get my lovely wife to hold the camera for me, and I'll show you how I go about it. These are actually upholstery needles, big upholstery needles. This is what I actually use. Now this is going back to right from the start when I mark the holes where they need to go, so that what you do is you just basically push this up through the hole, which I'll show you in a minute, and that locates your hole. Now there is a few ways of putting these holes in here. I have heard of people using an actual step drill. Step drills, the other way of doing it and how I find to do it is to actually burn a hole in it. That sounds a little bit aggressive, but that's actually probably the best way, because you actually cauterize the carpet as such, and you won't get any runs or anything like that. If you cut this or drill it or anything like that, you risk pulling the carpet and making a run. What some people do is they heat up some sort of shaft with a MAP gas, or either with a that's our greyhound walking around in the background. Heat up. Oh, have a look at him. Have a look at him. They're the seats that I've got. I've got my seats sitting. Hang on, I'm going to have to make a little section for Tristan. Here, buddy. Here, Tristan. No, you won't go on there now. Anyways, so where was I? Good thing we can edit things out. So what people do is they heat these up and then they just punch it through here. I haven't got a MAP gas. I'll confess I haven't even got an oxy torch or anything like that. Another way, and now this is all off of YouTube, was to use a soldering iron, which I've found to be actually the best, because one, you can probably pick a cheap one up for 15-20 bucks, and it's multiple use. You can use it for your carpet, you can also use it for your soldering, and I've found that to be the best way of burning the hole in here. So what I'll do is I'll poke a couple of the needles through the carpet from underneath, and then I'll show you just simply how I burn it out. Okay, so once again, just literally poke your needles through from underneath, or some sort of sharp object. If you haven't got needles, something else that actually works really well is just to get a wire coat hanger, cut it into a few pieces and sharpen the end, and just as good, just as good. So anyway, what we do is just literally just next to the hole or next to the needle, and just go around the needle will drop out, and that's it. That's your hole done. As simple as that. And that's excuse the smoke, that's a nice neat hole to drop your seat into, or drop the seat screw into. So once again, and just make sure you've got your carpet all nice, hence the reason I've put things in to hold it in place so shit doesn't move around when you're doing this. But yeah, once again, sorry about the shadows, guys, but that just literally drops out, and there's your hole, just done. Simple as that. No fishing around or anything like that. So, and once again, you can tidy that up all nice, just like that, and that's it, job done. It's as easy as that. So basically now I'm ready to give the carpet a bit of a quick clean and drop some seats in. Happy days. Righto, so I've got all the interior, all the seats back in there, thanks to the help of my wife Chantel, giving me a lift with the seats and helping me get them back into position, etc. Once again, always appreciate her help. So yeah, I'm reasonably happy with how it's all turned out. Got the boots back on there for the handbrake and the shifter, got the shifter back in there. Once again, I'm pretty happy with it all. The only thing that I'm not very happy about is that they don't supply you with a little piece of carpet to come back here, or put a small extension on the carpet. It's the same on this side. The Charger one had some, but this one didn't. But from factory, as you can see there, it hasn't got a piece either. I'll just grab my little light. But yeah, as you can see there, it's missing a bit. But I'm not 100% sure about this. If anybody knows, put a comment in the comments about it. But I think there's actually a little piece of carpet that goes underneath and goes right back here, and then the carpet actually lays over the top of that. But this hasn't been edged or anything like that, which you'd sort of think it would have been if it was to do that. But that's about the only thing that I'm not very happy about. But everything else is yeah, it's come up a treat. Pretty happy with it all, etc. So once again, you can see the shifter in there, and yeah, no, like I said, I'm reasonably happy with it. It's come up good. That little trick with burning holes in the carpet, so like I said, it sounds a bit you know, a bit how you're going, but it's probably the best way of doing it, to be honest. So I think now what I'll do is go for a little bit of a drive in it and see what sort of a difference it's made with insulation, noise, etc. When you're driving along. So yeah, I'll go for get my wife together, and we'll go for a little bit of a drive, I think. it's all just blow through. I haven't got headset detonated a little bit going up the hill there in third, but that's sort of understandable. Hence, you know, you've got to be listening and making sure that you're on the game and on your game and so forth. But you know, standard ignition. Okay, it's got the rising rate fuel pumping section, but the EFI style fuel system with the rising rate and so forth. But I haven't got any of the rising rate or anything connected yet. So, you know, once again, it's just holding its own. It's just all bolt-ons, and it just goes along, and it's just a good fun car to drive, you know. Oh, yeah, in a second. Yeah, good fun car. So, been to Coffee and Cars this morning. It was pretty busy. We got there in probably about 45 minutes after it started or so, about an hour, so sort of thinned out. I didn't bother doing any filming there. Caught up with a few friends, which was good as always. So now we're just cruising along down Aldinga at the on the Route 31. Going for a bit of a drive, and Tristan's enjoying himself out the back window there. Oh crikeys! Yeah, there's we get a lot of them down here. The old, as they used to be nicknamed, Sunday drivers. The old rubberneckers down here. Tourists enjoying themselves, which is good as always. And revenue into the place. Yeah, Aldinga Beach. This was packed along here. Australia Day, it was absolutely chockers, which is great to see. A couple of pigeons up on that roof, crikeys. We thought we had a pigeon problem. Yeah, so this is just going down to the boat ramp. Beautiful drive along here, the Route 31 coastal drive, put together by the Onkaparinga Council, I believe, don't quote me on that. And my car club, Smazza, Street Machine Association South Australia. Yeah, it's a beautiful drive. Goes from all the way from Sullivan's Beach all the way along to Silver Sands. Like I said, it's just a nice cruise along the coastline. Beautiful morning. Tristan's loving it, as always. What do you reckon, mate? Good? Yeah, that's good. People down there set up for the day by the looks of it. Day down the beach. Interested to see what Seaford's like, because I mean, look at that.
Wow.
It's closing out, but I mean, you know, there's the swells there, so Seaford and that would have been pumping this morning. Looks like the tides might be going out. Check the tides this morning. So a nice little drive along the Esplanade on Route 31 on the Esplanade down there in Aldinga. Yeah, it's nice. nice spot to go for a drive. That's the other good thing about boost, you know, like you can just cruise along. It's a substantially tall hill, and normally you drop it back a gear, but you just use the coming on boost, and you know, you can just cruise up the hill. You don't have to drop it back a gear and, you know, do all this sort of stuff, but you can if you want. But you know, you don't need to. Where he sticks his head out and does 100 k's an hour. Heading back home. Well, I'm going to go along my way in Centura, but heading off back home. So I think I'll sort of cut the video off there. Once again, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like and subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks for everybody for viewing, and stay tuned because we've got a heap of videos coming up. I'm going to add the T-piece to this thing. And we'll go for a drive and we'll see how much more boost we can get. Going to aim for about 8 to 10 pound boost. I'll get a Turbo Smart T-piece for that, and then I've also got some upgrades and improvements to the Blue Charger. Got a new radiator for that, 3-row radiator instead of a 2-row, so I'll update you guys on a little bit more of that, and mucking around with the fuel system a bit more. Had a bit of a fuel leak with the fuel cell. It's old, it's 30 odd years old, so got to change that as well. But yeah, I'll update you guys a bit more on that. So yeah, thanks again for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all when I'm looking at you. So yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Thanks again.